afternoon. Welcome to Greensboro, North Carolina, home of Carolina Aircraft. I'm George Johnson, the Bonanza Man, and today we're here to show you a very nice 1996 Bonanza A36 November 6255 Juliet. This airplane has been updated with Garmin avionics and is in fantastic condition. Let's take a look. November 6255 Juliet only has 1,620 hours total time since new. That means that on the engine it also has 1,620 hours since new, and this is a 1,700 hour TBO engine. Now all 6 cylinders have been replaced at one time or the other, so this engine should have no problem going to TBO. In fact, it had an annual inspection in September 2012 and all the compressions were great. This engine also has a JPI EDM 800 graphic engine monitor. The airplane is equipped with factory air conditioning, and it has a lot of other nice equipment. Although November 6255 Juliet is a 1996 model, it's always been hangared and had excellent maintenance. The paint is in excellent condition. I would rate this paint a 7 to an 8. You might find a paint chip here and there, but very, very few on this airplane, and it still has plenty of shine and sheen on the paint. 6255 Juliet is equipped with the G&D tinted window inner panes. These keep the airplane cooler in the summertime and insulate the interior in the wintertime. It keeps the UV rays off of your interior. One of the best features about an A36 that customers love is the big double cargo doors in the back. It's very easy to get in and out back here, and in fact this club seating arrangement is reversible with no tools. You can take the center seats out by pulling the pin, sliding this seat off the track. This seat goes on that side, that seat goes on this side when you put them back in if you turn them around forward facing, because you have an armrest in the middle. These rear seats can be removed in less than 30 seconds just by pulling these 2 pins, and then you have more cargo space back here. The overall interior in 6255 Juliet is in very good condition. The leather seats are in good condition, and these are original. The leather side walls are in good condition, as is the cabin table, the windows, and the headliner. This headliner has probably been replaced and is probably not original. Now the carpet back here has some stains on it, so the carpet probably needs to be replaced. And we may do that in the process of selling this airplane. The A36 has a very spacious interior. I'm almost 6 feet tall, and I've got plenty of headroom. I've got plenty of leg room. The cabin table's very nice to work with, and with the armrest it's like sitting in an easy chair in my living room. The tail on 6255 Juliet is in excellent condition. There's no corrosion. There are no hill pings. The airplane has internal corrosion proofing throughout from the factory, and this airplane is a serial number that is not impacted by the wing spar AD. November 6255 Juliet has a beautiful instrument panel with a lot of great equipment. Let's take a look starting on the pilot side. We have your airspeed indicator. This is your artificial horizon, which also houses your flight director. And then this is your encoding altimeter. Above the encoding altimeter, we have your altitude and vertical speed pre-select that works with your autopilot. So you can pre-select an altitude, and the airplane will automatically level off, and you can also pre-select the rate of your climb or descent. On the next row, we have your instrument air gauge, and then your 2-minute turn coordinator. And this is your King KCS55A slaved HSI system. This houses your #1 nav and your #1 GPS. The airplane has an instantaneous vertical speed indicator. On the next row we have your #2 nav, and this houses your #2 nav and your #2 GPS. Then you have a King KN63 DME, and this has nav1 and nav2 switching and DME hold. And then we have your JPI EDM 800 graphic engine monitor, and this also has fuel flow. You can see we have 45.6 gallons remaining in the tanks. Now let's take a look at the avionics stack. At the top we have a King KMA-24 audio panel with your 3 light marker beacons. Below this we have your number 1 nav and number 1 GPS. This is a Garmin 530W GPS, which has WAS, and you'll notice this has a lot of different pages. This is your HSI map page, and this is your regular GPS page. And you'll notice that it has storm scope. This has a WX500 storm scope that displays on here. And then we have terrain, and when this loads it'll show red because we're on the ground. And then we have your information pages and your satellite pages. Below this we have your number 2 GPS Navcom, and this basically has the same pages as your number 1 Garmin GPS 530W. This is a GPS 430W, also with WAS. And you'll notice we're on the storm scope page, and we also have the regular nav page and a information page, and then your terrain page. Below this we have your autopilot. This is the King KFC 150 autopilot flight director slaved HSI system, and as I pointed out earlier, this has altitude and vertical speed pre-select, and this is a digital autopilot. November 6255 Juliet has a ground comm switch. When you push this in, it turns on your number 1 Navcom GPS without turning any other equipment on in the airplane, so you can get your clearance without running your battery down or without even starting the engine. To the right of this is a shade and fuel flow, and this is a shade and digital fuel flow. Even though you have a fuel flow with your JPI EDM 800, this is a more detailed fuel flow system. And then you have a standby artificial horizon. To the right of the artificial horizon is your intercom system, and this has a NAT, a 6-place intercom system with a music input jack. The airplane is equipped with a King KT-76A transponder. The airplane is equipped with rose and sun visors, and as you can see, the windows are very clear. The airplane also has the G&D tinted window interpanes. Now let's take a look at the pilot's control wheel. In the front we have your mic button or push to talk button. On the top we have an autopilot disconnect button and your control wheel steering. The airplane is equipped with electric elevator trim, and this is your elevator trim switch. In the center of the panel we have a control wheel clock, and this doubles as a timer to time your approaches. On the right side of the control wheel we have a map light. This puts a light in your lap and also a light in your outside air temperature gauge and your compass. If you want a great buy in a very nice, well-maintained, low-time 1996 Bonanza A36, you need to visit Carolina Aircraft in Greensboro, North Carolina, and take a look at November 6255 Juliet. This airplane only has 1,620 hours total time since new. The airplane has been upgraded with Garmin avionics. It has the King KFC 150 autopilot flight director slaved HSI system with altitude and vertical speed pre-select. It has a Garmin 530W with WAS, a Garmin 430W with WAS, a WX500 storm scope. It's factory air conditioned and has a lot of other great equipment. With 1,620 hours on the engine, this is a great airplane that you can use for a year or so and then replace the engine with whatever conversion you decide on. Come visit Carolina Aircraft in Greensboro, North Carolina to see this beautiful Bonanza A36, or give us a call at 336-665-0300, and be sure to visit CarolinaAircraft.com to see this gorgeous A36 and all of our other nice Bonanzas and Barons. Have a great day!